finally, there was my growing realization that I had been fooled. Hello and welcome to My Tiny Bottles, the project where I'm exploring my grandmother's legacy of miniature liquor bottles, one tiny bottle at a time. I'm your host, Tammy Coxon. Bottle number 81, Bacardi Ciclón, might just be the biggest roller coaster of a tiny bottle so far, and it all plays out in reveal 16. First, there was the disappointment in my voice as I realized it was another plastic bottle of Bacardi, my least favorite rum in my least favorite bottle type. Ciclón. Oh, great guys, more Bacardi. You may remember how I felt about the Bacardi O. Then I became shocked and appalled as I read what was in it. Premium Bacardi Gold rum infused with imported blue agave tequila and natural lime flavor? This is some weird kind of tequila rum mashup? Whose great idea was that? And finally, there was my growing realization that I had been fooled. You see, back when I was researching bottle 58, Bacardi O, I had set the date on that bottle for between 2002 and 2006 and recorded a video that included it. The next day, a friend came over, saw the bottle lying about, and noticed that it had two numbers written on the bottom, 2017 and 2018. We became convinced that they must be dates. So convinced that I recorded a new section of the Bacardi O video, interrupting myself to share this new fact. Stop the presses! So there I am in reveal 16, faced with an identical bottle type from the same manufacturer, and when I turn it over, I do not see dates. There are still two sequential 4-digit numbers, but nobody was making rum or tequila in 1027 or 1028. So I'm back to my earlier dates for Bacardi O, and I figure it and the Ciclón enter Grandma's collection together. They are both labeled as not for resale, so my guess is that they maybe came as a combo package or something. Maybe if you bought a full-size bottle of Bacardi, you got a couple samples of their new products to try out. Bacardi was releasing a lot of new products in the early 2000s. In the Bacardi O video, I talked about how Bacardi Limon was a smash hit when it debuted in 1995. The years that followed would see the company invest heavily in R&D as they fought to keep up in an increasingly competitive spirits industry. The family-owned company even considered going public. Instead, they doubled down on developing products they thought would appeal to the flavored vodka-loving Echo Boomer generation. This included Bacardi O, which was actually released in 2001, and was then followed up with Ciclón in 2002. There was also a malt beverage called Bacardi Silver, which was meant to compete with Smirnoff Ice. They also acquired Tequila Cazadores in 2002, so maybe that's where this wacky "let's put tequila into rum" idea came from. Bacardi seems to have invested a lot of money in the product's launch. I saw one claim that the bill was $15 million. But the reactions to Ciclón are as much of a roller coaster as my response to finding the tiny bottle was. It definitely had its fans. A bunch of forum posts talk about how much people liked it. Heck, Wine Enthusiast even gave it a 90 to 95 rating. It got 2 out of 3 stars in the 2004 Complete Book of Spirits, which described it as interesting but weird. But it clearly didn't have enough fans. I found a message thread from 2005 on webtender.com where bartenders are complaining about not being able to move it or even get people to try it. In 2008, it was discontinued, which I learned in a delightfully overdramatic blog post from a bereft fan titled "Like a Hurricane Swept Through My Soul." If you search for Ciclón today, you'll find a really interesting mix of bottles for sale online. The spirit collector sites are selling it for $80 to $120 a bottle because it is rare and discontinued. But I also found a bunch of listings for it at regular prices from completely random liquor stores where it is presumably just lingering as a dusty bottle on a bottom shelf. Under normal circumstances, I'd be like one of those people those webtender.com bartenders were complaining about and wouldn't even be willing to try it. But after doing this research and seeing all the people who are mourning this bottle's passing, I'm really kind of excited to find out for myself. And I don't have to wait long. Come back next episode when I'll be tasting this with Greg Benson, a Brooklyn-based food and beverage writer and co-host of the Speakeasy podcast. He did tell me he likes rum and tequila. Be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss that episode. Are you a bereft Ciclón fan? Drop a comment while you're down there or at mytinybottles.com or on social media. I'm at mytinybottles on Facebook and Instagram and Tammy Coxon on Blue Sky. Want to support the project? Check out my Patreon for bonus content and perks. Cheers!